to this hangout. I'm excited about this hangout. This is all about how to make money blogging. How to make money blogging. There were so many people who were on my Facebook page who are actually looking for some answers, right, in reference to blogging, answers in reference to building engagement, answers on how do you even get started, answers on an array of topics. And tonight, I'm going to give you those answers, okay? So I just want to make sure that you are literally ready and prepared for tonight. I'm going to try my best to make sure we are done in about an hour or so, just so that we're not all night. Let me do a couple things really quickly, and that will be working to make sure everyone is here and that we are ready to rock and roll, okay? So hold on, guys. And let me just post this on the Facebook page. I'm so excited. I hope that you're excited. If you're excited, go ahead and type "I'm excited" inside of the chat function there, because I want to see how excited you are. I do have to get a couple more things set up really quickly, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll for sure. All right, so let me come back over here and make sure that we are still rocking and rolling on this end. Okay, so we got some people that are jumping on, and we'll give it a couple more minutes before we start digging deep into it. What I am going to do, though, is print a couple things out here, okay? So let's see. That way I can make sure I've got my notes and things like that. And we should be good to go. Give it a couple seconds, guys. My printer just started spewing out all this stuff a couple minutes ago. I have no idea what it was doing. Like right now, I have no idea what it's doing. So we're just gonna cancel that for a second, because I have no idea what the heck this crazy thing is doing. So we're just gonna use what I have here on screen as the method that will get this going. Okay, so we'll just do it that way. So that'll be fine. And I hope you guys are ready. You know, first let me just say that in this hangout, what I wanted to do in terms of doing this hangout was to really help you guys get a better understanding of the whole blogging process, and to know that it's really not that hard. It's not. Now, here's the thing. You may be a new person getting started to blogging. Maybe you are part of Empower Network. Maybe you are not part of Empower Network. I don't really care if you are or if you are not. That is not the intent of this training tonight. This training tonight is designed to help you just overall have a much clearer understanding of what in the heck it is that you are doing as it relates to blogging. And I'm going to go over just a couple of concepts too, just to kind of get things started. So just some foundational things. And so what I am going to request that you do is, if you are not taking notes, you probably will want to do that. Okay? I cannot stress to you enough that I will not be doing another training like this for free anytime soon, and I mean it, because it takes a little bit more time away from my team, away from what I'm doing in my business, to try to give something to the community of people, whether you're part of my organization or not, whether you're part of our company or not. This is really just because I wanted to, right? I just felt it in my heart and I wanted to. And so because I wanted to, I'm doing it. but I probably won't want to anytime soon, just because there's no need to. There's a lot of training out there on some things we're going to be talking about tonight. Some of which you can get your hands on. If you are a part of Empower Network, you can get your hands on it. If you're not part of Empower Network, then you can utilize this as some very basic information to help you build one block at a time and keep climbing up. So let me just kind of share a little bit of my story, not a long drawn out situation here, but guys, listen, I got started online in 2008. I was completely brand new. I knew nothing about marketing online when I first started. So I had the experience of being a newbie back in March of 2008 when I first decided to get online. Okay, so I know what that is like. Likewise, here's some things that I did that you may not be doing, or that if you're doing, maybe you're not following through with it. I'm not really sure. All I can do is share with you what it is that I am, or that I did do, and clearly it has worked itself out where it's been beneficial for me to do it in that way. What I did when I first got online is I literally found me a mentor, and what that means is I did not look for all the people in the whole world and send them a whole bunch of messages and say, hey, listen, I'm new, and basically have this type of do something knowing that successful people have a value on their time just like anybody else. And because the person that I decided I wanted to follow was already making $1 million a year or something like that with internet marketing, there was just a way I could reach out to him and just say, hey, listen, can you help me? I know nothing. I don't even know what a blog, I'm in kindergarten. And you're in the MBA. Right? And I want you to stop doing what you're doing in the MBA so that you can come over here to the kindergarten class and teach me how to my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And that's too far of a knowledge-based skill to expect that. Right? And some of you guys might be at that place right now. You're contacting people that are in the NBA, right? That are in the NFL or that are in the PGA, right? And you don't even know what a golf ball is. So that person is not going to take a bunch of time to kind of help you get going. So this is what I did instead. What I did is I actually, and his name is Dagan Smith, I don't have to lie about that or sugarcoat it or try to pretend that I didn't do what I'm telling you I did. What I did was I went through his sales page, right? He had a page and he talked about whatever he was talking about. And I joined him. I signed up to whatever it was that he was doing. At that time, it was a network marketing business. So I signed up in that business. I bought his courses that he had. I actually got a CD that he had that I had mailed to my house. Everything that he had available that was in alignment with what I needed to learn, I bought it. And I found a way to get the money to buy it or do whatever I needed to do, because here was my goal. My goal was I needed to get results, because I knew the best way to get the attention of a guy who was way over here already making millions of dollars is for me to show that I have tapped into the resources that he already had, that I have gone through them, that I have implemented them, and that now I am a willing and able apprentice. Okay, that I am willing and I'm able. I've invested into my education. I am, working through. And when he referenced certain things, I could go back to that course that he told me that he had, and I could look in that CD or that DVD or that workbook or whatever it was, and he know that I was a player in the game. Right? So that's what I did. I bought everything. I studied it too. I didn't just buy it and then say, hey, I bought all your stuff. No, I bought his stuff. I signed up with him and his company, and then I began to study him. I modeled everything that he did in terms of if I saw an email come out from him, I looked at that email and I said, how is he crafting out this email? If he sent out an offer to buy something, I didn't always just buy before looking at what is he saying, what is the headline looking like, how is he conveying this message, how does this transition in paragraph 1 go to paragraph 2. I looked at what he was doing and I tried to model it and create my own using the little template that I saw that he was working from. I didn't call him and ask him, can you give me the template? I followed the template that I could see because I received the email that had a sales letter in it. I began to do what he was doing. If he was doing interviews with people, I said, oh, well, now he's doing interviews. Let me find other people to reach out and do interviews with. If he was posting those interviews to his blog, I was posting those interviews to my blog. Everything he did, he didn't even know I existed at this time, but everything he did, I found myself learning and teaching myself how to do. That's how I learned some of the HTML code that I do know, which is not a lot. Underline and move a picture over. I mean, I learned that through trial and error, through watching what he was doing. I learned how to get my YouTube channel up. I learned how to record the videos. I learned how to put, you know, all types of things. I taught myself over time without the expectation that it's his responsibility as my sponsor to now, you know, stop doing what he's doing to teach me and all the other 1,000 people that he signed up in that particular month or two. Okay, it's not a fair thing to assume someone is going to do. So over time, I began to learn and build upon the skill set. Likewise, I became more proficient. Okay, and specifically, I became more proficient in the area in the field of blogging because that was what I did the most of. At that time, when I first got started, I was in the process of losing my home to foreclosure. I was in the process of my cars being repossessed. I was in the process of either the first or the second bankruptcy that we had to file to literally postpone the foreclosure or sale date on my house to buy us more time. I mean, there were a lot of things that were going on nonetheless, okay? My relationship was extremely strained at that time too, so there was a lot going on. Nonetheless, my focus and my initiative was really set to be proficient in this thing. And blogging was something that I could do where it didn't cost me a lot of money. Did it cost me money? Yes. Okay, can you blog for free? Yeah, you can blog for free. But I'm going to tell you this, you can't really advertise for free and have a life at the same time. Now, can you advertise for free? Of course you can. There's all types of free classified ads, and you know, you can do articles and you can do all these different things, but the bottom line is that you get to a point where you want to have a life and all of your time you know, will be invested into the business. And so I had to use that because I had plenty of time. I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew that when I would need money, I would have to fork it over, right? Whether it would be a training or a course or an event or something like that, okay? And that's what I chose to spend my money on at that time. Nonetheless, I learned how to blog. Okay, I learned how to blog back in 2008. All through 2009, I was on a leaderboard of a whole other company because of my blogging ability. I actually created a blogging product. And I'll be coming out with another blogging course. I'm not sure exactly how I am going to format it yet, but the name of that is going to be Be Blog Savvy 2, and the 2 is TOO, right? Be Blog Savvy 2, and I built that product on what I knew about blogging. Okay. Then 2011 comes along, and Empower Network starts. Through my friends Dave and Dave, and I knew for me, I was interested in Empower Network from the get-go because I understood the basis of what it was being built upon. It was being built upon a platform that I prided myself in understanding how to do, and what I really attributed the growth and success of my business to, which was blogging. Okay, so I've never stopped blogging. I've blogged since the day I was on the internet, and things do change from time to time. Likewise, I have to keep up with different things, and sometimes I just refer to other people to learn things, but the bottom line is that I've pretty much built my entire business via blogging, via videos, and via articles. And so I know it can be done. I'm not one for whining and complaining. I'm not one for listening to whining and complaining. I'm one for taking action and doing what you absolutely need to do, because that was the road I took, right? And so when we're talking about marketing, before we get into this whole about finding people that's your ideal avatar. right? Avatar meaning someone that's your ideal prospect or target market. And my ideal target market are people that are similar to me with respect to having self-initiative, with being self-starters, with having determination, with being willing to do whatever they have to do to get the results that they want to get. That's my avatar, a professional person, someone that understands business, someone that may have had a business before and may have lost the business for a reason or another, or maybe still doing their business but want to ramp things up. Maybe they experience some hardships in business. That's where I come from. That's my ideal person. And so when I come across people that aren't like that, it's a little bit of a skirt around who I'm willing to work with and so on. So anyway, that blogging thing, I kind of know it. Even if it's just a little bit, I know a little bit enough to make over $1 million online doing it. Okay, I will say that, and that's documented information. So here's the deal. I posted on Facebook and said, hey, listen, guys, what do you want to know about blogging? Right? And so many responses came through. I actually logged many of those responses and put together a little format for how we're going to do this hangout tonight, and that's what we're going to work off of. Okay, that's what we're going to work off of. So I hope that you guys are prepared with the notes. I said a little bit earlier to go ahead and get your notepad, get your pen together, and start getting this stuff lined up, because I won't be doing this anytime soon. Okay, I'm going to give you the goods of what I have tonight, and those of you that are smart will pay attention, okay, and take your notes properly. And then those of you who are kind of like pussyfooting around and you're thinking I'm going to do this again, or you're going to ask me, can I repeat that? The answer is going to be a big fat no. No, no, no. Why? Because I'm effective, efficient, and I don't like to repeat things over and over and over, especially when I've already said it crystal clear. Okay, now we are going to move forward, and we're going to kind of get going with the first area, which is getting started. Okay, getting started. And what's important about getting started is sometimes people make a big deal about getting started, and all these things they have to do to get started, and all this setup they think they need to do, and really all that's a bunch of yaki talk. Okay, it doesn't take all of that to get started. What it really takes is a will and desire for you to move forward. Okay, that's the first and foremost thing. You got to want to learn this stuff. Okay, if you're doing it because somebody told you to do it, or if you're doing it because you just gotta hurry up and make money, then it's probably going to be that much of a slower process, because you're not allowing yourself the opportunity to learn and internalize and master the information, which then over time with practice becomes what we call a skill set. Okay, and it's because of the skill set that I have, and I'm able to do things I'm able to do. It's because of the skill set that Mark Zuckerberg had, he's able to do what he does. It's because of the skill set that Steve Jobs had that allowed him to do what he did. It's because of the skill set that Donald Trump has that allows him to do. It's not just emotions of, I want to buy real estate. There's a skill set behind that, and once you can learn these skills, and in this sense we're talking about blogging, then you can do whatever. You can do whatever as it relates to blogging. Okay, so let's just talk about the first thing, how to get started, what to blog about, and how to get good content, okay, and keep people's interest. Let's talk about that. How to get started. All right, now that's going to depend. How you get the blog up on the internet is going to depend. It's going to depend on what you're looking to do. If you are looking to spend $0 whatsoever to get it up, then you could very easily go to WordPress.com, get yourself a blog up there, and you don't have to worry about hosting or anything. But here's the downside to that. WordPress.com actually could not post your content because they have control over the content. If they don't like it, they can choose not to show it. Similar to Blogger, right? Blogger is that way as well. You can go up there, you can start a free blog with Blogger all you want to. But if Blogger doesn't want you talking about network marketing, or if Blogger doesn't want you talking about affiliate marketing, or you might have a link in your blog that links over to your network marketing business or your affiliate product, if Blogger doesn't like that, Blogger can say, well, we're not going to post this content because we don't like it. That's just the risk that you run when you're going with free sources like that. Okay. You can, if you have a little bit of money, then you could go to WordPress.org. Okay, instead of WordPress.com, you go to WordPress.org, and this time you can still set up the blog. The blog itself would be free, but you still have to pay your hosting, right? Which might be, for me, I use HostGator, and I host a lot of different sites on HostGator, but it's like $10 a month for the package that I have. Okay, so you could do that. All right, and then even still, once you get the blog and once you get the hosting, now you got to learn how to install the blog on the hosting, right? Then you got to make sure that it's showing up live on the internet. Then you got to make sure you put certain meta tags, meaning certain keywords and things in your description, in your tag section, and so on and so forth, so that it can be found by Google and Bing, Yahoo, and the other search engines. You got to have that skill set, or at least start to learn it and build it, in order to start making that work. And the truth of the matter is that most people will get started with a blog because it's free to go to WordPress.org. You can get your hosting account for $10 a month, but you have a blog up there that you have no idea how to make sure that it has on-page optimization. You have no idea how to make sure it has off-page optimization. You have no idea how to drive any traffic to it. You have no idea what backlinks are. You have no idea about any of the other aspects of blogging except for the fact that you have a blog. Right? And if you think about that, that's just like somebody saying, oh, okay, well, I want to build a house. Okay, great. Well, you can't just build the house. There's other things that go along with that, like where's the house going to go, like the land, the property. Even when the house gets built, you got property taxes. You don't just pay the mortgage, you got property taxes, right? You've got you got electricity bill, you've got cable bill if you have that, you've got gas bill, you've got water bill. You have all types of things that go along with just the house. It's never just the house by itself, right? So it's the same thing here. It's never just a blog. There's a bunch of other things that have to go on to make this blog optimized for your use, okay? That's just kind of how everything is in life, really, right? You can't just want a boyfriend, right, or want a girlfriend. There's other things that you've got to deal with once you have this person in your life, right, or wife or spouse or whatever, children even, right? There's other things. You can't just want a baby and you just get the baby. Like, okay, no, you got to buy stuff for the baby. You got to feed the baby. You got to change the baby. You got to get diapers. The same thing here. Same thing here. Just because the blog is free doesn't mean that everything else to help you with that blog will be. Okay? And if you're looking to do this for $0 through the complete process, then being in business isn't the direction I would recommend for you. Okay? I would recommend that you choose something else, because business is about investing, right, and then getting a return on that investment. You invest nothing, then you know, it's kind of hard, especially when you have no skill set. All right, so that's where we are with that. So I gave you the WordPress.com way, the WordPress.org way, and some of you guys that may have some experience in that, you can do that. I did the WordPress.org way and built my blog and had hosting. And I taught myself theme, right? I had to buy certain themes, and I taught myself how to position things on the themes and where things should go inside of my widgets and how to make all of that work and how to tie in videos to them and creating my content and changing the colors and getting my banner design. I mean, that I taught myself how to do all of that, okay, which you can do, but it's not free because time is worth something, okay? And so I spent a lot of time and I spent some money on doing that as well. We've come around the corner a little bit now where we have something like Empower Network. Again, you may be in it, you may not be in it. I'm not here to sell you on it. I'm just giving you the different options that are available now, right, that I'm aware of. And I know there's tons of others. I don't claim to know everything about who's out there offering a blog. All I can tell you is my experience and what has happened for me, right? And so you can do the WordPress.com, which is free, but you have no control. You could do the WordPress.org, which is not free, but you do have control, but you got to learn all that stuff behind the scenes to make it work for you. Or you could use a viral blogging system similar to like what Empower Network is, where you don't really have to worry about any of any of that. I mean, really the only thing you have to worry about is just starting your blog, right? You pay the $25 a month for the blog, and essentially, boom, your blog is up. You don't have to install it. You don't have to host it. It's still your content, okay? It's still your content that's up there. You have ownership of that content, and you can still customize it, but you can customize from a very, very easy back office interface where you don't have to worry about coding and color language and all this stuff. It's pretty much just ready to rock and roll for you to do some very basic on-page optimization. You don't have to worry so much about backlinks. They still are important, but you're working with a little bit more advanced type of platform where now you have a more aged domain name, right? You have the power of the community behind the blog, and that's why viral blogging is so much more conducive than just solo blogging, right? You have your own blog sitting over here in a little island, but nobody even knows about it, nobody sees you, nobody does any of that. You have to do a lot of work like I did to get traffic to it and to build your rankings up. But when you're in a viral blogging system, you have a community of bloggers all together, which is like a YouTube, right? It's like a Facebook. It's like if you go on YouTube and you have a channel on YouTube, well, that channel is associated with YouTube.com, right? Which means that somebody else can have a channel, but it's still associated with YouTube.com, and they can see your videos, and they can subscribe to your videos, and they can comment on your videos, or like or dislike your videos, or whatever they're doing. They can share your videos, right? They can do all that stuff from inside the YouTube platform, and that is a community-based environment, right? Like a viral video situation. Well, this is the same thing, except it's a viral blogging situation. You got a ton of people that are in the community that can see your blog post, that can comment on your blog post, that can reblog your blog post, that can like your blog post, that can take your blog post and post it on their social media, that can share. They can do all these different things, and that helps with a lot of background stuff I was telling you about before. So having the viral aspect of things is extremely useful to you than not, okay, than not. So that would be the basics on how to get started. There's different ways of how, and I just gave them to you. Hopefully you wrote those things down, okay? Now, the next thing, what to blog about? Okay, listen, guys, here's what you blog about. You blog about the solutions to the problems that people in your chosen target market have, okay? That's what you blog about. If you are a doctor and you help people through chiropractic techniques, then what do you blog about? You blog about solutions to problems that people who come to chiropractors have. If you have a sandwich shop and you want more customers, people that come to your sandwich shop on a regular basis for lunch, this, that, and that, what do you blog about? The products that you have. You blog about how healthy they are. You blog about how they can get the coupons or the discounts. So if they bring a person with them, this, that can happen. That's what you blog about. If you have a hair salon, what do you blog about? You blog about the problems that your clients have. If people are, their hair is shedding, you blog about how to stop shedding. If it's people are unclear on whether color is healthy for your hair or not, you blog about the pros and the cons of having color. You blog about the different styles that are out. You blog about any of the ongoing learnings that you're having as you go to continuing education classes. If you're a dentist and you want to know what to blog about, you blog about the problems. You blog about the solutions to the problems that your patients are having. So people say, oh my goodness, I have a toothache. You might blog about the different things that a toothache could represent. You could blog about how they could resolve that toothache. Maybe it's water for some people. Maybe it's just putting some Orajel on it. Maybe it may be actually setting an appointment, coming in if it's more of an excruciating pain type of situation. This is what you blog about. You blog about the solutions to the problems that the people in your chosen target market have. So clearly the first thing that you have to do is choose a target market. Right now, if you're a network marketer like many of us are, or an internet marketer, you still need to have that. Like, you don't get to bypass having a particular group to talk to because you're an internet marketer. Being on the internet doesn't mean that you market to everybody. Being on the internet means you just have more leverage to reach your ideal target market for even cheaper than your competitor if they're doing a lot of offline marketing. It doesn't mean that now you shouldn't know who you're talking to. So if you're a network marketer and you sell, health and wellness, then you need to decide of your product line which of those products is the most, it has the most affinity, you have the most affinity for. And if it's the vitamins, then now you find out, well, what problems do these vitamins solve? And you blog about how these vitamins solve certain problems. You blog about what the vitamin can do. You blog about how it makes people feel. You blog about testimonials from people that have used the vitamins that help them to feel more energetic and more have more vitality. That's what you blog about. If you're selling telecom services, it doesn't matter. You need to be talking to people who are in the market for telecom services. And you need to blog about how your services solve the problems of people that are in the telecom area. They're looking for that. Maybe it's price for them. Maybe it's features. Maybe it's some of the different functionality that goes along with it. Maybe it's the I don't know, because I'm not in telecom, but I'm just giving you, ideas of that. If you sell T-shirts, for example, right? If you sell shirts, anything like that, well, you need to blog about the different designs that you have. You need to blog about where people can purchase them. Maybe you need to blog about the different types of dye that's in them and the type of material that you use, and why this may be a better material than that. Maybe you want to blog about the ideas that you're having about other types of shirts and things like that coming down the path. You may blog and show other people who have purchased your shirts and they're rocking the shirts at the baseball game, or they're going to their kids' play and they're rocking the shirt, or whatever. You have, what you blog about is a personal situation between you and your target market. It's not about blog what the other person's blogging about. It's you blog about the solutions to the problems that the people in your chosen market are having, period. And you need to decide who your target market is. There's really not much more I can say about that, because it's as simple as that. Find out what the problems are that people are having in your market, and you should understand them, because really you should be working with the market that you already understand, right? And then you should be able to identify how your product solves those problems. And as you get going, you should always be on a hunt for finding out, well, what other problems does this particular product solve? Or how can I, in conjunction with this product, solve these problems? And that, my friends, is what you blog about. So you need to decide who you're talking to first off. You need to decide what their problems are, and then what the solutions are that you bring in reference to your product or your service or your business, or the benefits of it, and you blog about different things like that. Okay. Now, hopefully, that should just get that whole thing going because of that. Okay, so that should be simple enough. How to get good content and keep people's interest. Good content is not something that you just search on the internet for and say, hey, how do I get good content? Good content, you know where that comes from? Do you know where good content really comes from? Good content comes from right here. This is where good content comes from. You know where else it comes from? It comes from right here. This is where good content comes from. When you can align your heart and your mind with that of your prospect, with that of your target market, you can tell them things, as long as you're solving their problems, that somebody else might not be able to tell them. And that's what good content is. Now, could you also go on Google and get some ideas in reference to your target market? Could you find some other people that are talking about the same things that you want to talk about? Yeah, and couldn't you review their blogs and get some ideas? Absolutely. Couldn't you go on Facebook and find people that are similar to you, that are selling the same types of things, that have the same interests as you, or marketing to the same group of people as you? And couldn't you see what things they're talking about, and then get some ideas? Yes, you could. Couldn't you go to YouTube and look at some videos where people who are in the same market as you, who are selling the same types of things as you, find out what they're talking about and get some ideas? Yes, you can. But at the end of the day, what's going to make you unique is not the idea. Right? Because how many more financial books do we really need? Clearly, there are tons of financial analysts out here. Clearly, there are tons of financial planners out here. Clearly, there's all types of TV shows about money. There's all types of books about money. But if you have noticed anything, the properties of money has not changed since its beginning. Right? It's pretty much the same types of things. And what you're looking for ultimately when you're choosing a financial person is somebody that's knowledgeable, someone that is abreast of what's happening now, and who knows their stuff. But it doesn't mean that the next person doesn't know their stuff. Maybe you don't like their style, or you don't like the way they convey messages to you, or the way they communicate with you. So it's not about the idea. You don't have to invent something for it to be relevant to the marketplace. I mean, really, really am I inventing how to blog right now? Am I inventing how to get good content? Has this stuff never ever been taught or heard before? No. It's I'm not coming up with it as the genius that you might think you need to be in order to be effective and efficient. What you need to do though is learn it, and then your ability to then share that with other people who have not learned it yet is where your expertise comes in. It's not about being the first person on the block to have this information. It's not. It's about how you convey the information that you are attaining as it relates to solutions versus the problems that your target market is having. So how to get good content. That's here, and I just told you, Facebook, you can go and look, you can Google it, you can go to YouTube, you can go to other blogs, you can go all over the place to get ideas, but how you put those messages and those words together is all about here, and that's you having a true desire to help people and solve problems that they're having, because if you're just trying to sell people stuff, then it's not going to be good content. And how do you know it's not going to be good content? Well, nobody's going to share it, nobody's going to comment on it, or it's not going to be good comments for the most part. Nobody's going to care. You'll hear crickets whenever you have your stuff going out there, and it doesn't have to be that way when you really are talking about something of interest to the marketplace, right? It's really that simple. That's how simple this whole thing is. Keeping people's interest. Keeping people's interest is all about, your ability to draw people into something and want them to and allow them to want more, right? When you go to a movie, the movie doesn't start off immediately at the end. It doesn't. There's a storyline. It pulls you through. There may even be some twists where you thought this is going to happen, but what really happened was this over here, right? There's got to be a way that you pull people through your process, and keeping people's attention in today's day and age can be very, very difficult. So you've got to be creative. You've got to be exciting. You've got to be willing to step outside of the box. Keeping people's interest isn't always about selling them stuff. Keeping people's interest sometimes relates to asking them more about what they want, or talking about little funky things that might be trends that are going on, right? Talking about things of interest to the people. That's how you keep their interest. Talk about things they're already interested in. That's how you do that. I mean, there's no science to this, guys. Okay, this is my perspective on it. Don't make things more difficult than what it really is. You keep people's interest by you being interested. If you're not interested in what the heck you're talking about, then clearly you blogging about something just because that's the company that you're representing, that's ridiculous. You need to blog about something that interests you. And you need to be promoting and building something that interests you as a network marketer. If you're not in network marketing and you're a more traditional business owner, as I said a little bit earlier, then it's the same challenge for you. You need to blog about the things that people care about. If people care about what's coming on television on Bravo, then you need to blog about what's coming on television on Bravo, especially if you're in the TV industry, right? That's what you need to blog about. If you work at Bravo, right? If you work at NBC, then clearly you need to blog about things about NBC. If you are a realtor, what is it that, and if you're a buyer's agent, what are the common things that buyers have questions about, have problems about? Well, that's where you come in. You keep their interest by talking about things that they're already interested in. And that's going to go right back to what I said earlier, which was you got to identify the problems and you got to identify the solutions off top. If you're not going to do the homework to get that done, then you can't get down the road and say, well, what do I talk about? You should be talking about whatever you're building. You should be talking about whatever business you're promoting. You should be talking about whatever products and services you are selling. That's what you talk about, okay? You don't talk about clouds when you're selling bottles of water. You talk about bottles of water when you're selling water. You don't always talk about buying water, but you talk about water. Where do you get the water from? How is it bottled? Some videos of behind the scenes of the manufacturing plant and how the water actually comes in and gets filtered through and it's bottled up, and how the caps actually get screwed on with a little thing right here that makes sure it's secure, and how the actual branding gets put upon it, and how the little ridges get put in the water and how they get stuck. I mean, that's what you talk about. People that want to know about water and what's the best water to have, they want to know why your water is the best. And so that's what your job is to talk about why your water is the best, right? That's what you blog about. If you don't know what to blog about, you got homework to do. I can't tell you what to blog about. okay? Because this is your business, and you need to already have an idea of what the marketplace wants so that you can give them what they want. That's the easiest form of doing business, is when you find what people already want and you give them what they want. You have a match. The problem is that many people want to talk about what they want when nobody else gives a darn about that. And then they're saying, well, nobody cares. You're right, because you're a marketer. This isn't just about, you talking in your diary about what you want to talk about. If you're looking to market and sell and promote something, you need to talk about something that these people over here give a darn about. And if there's not a match, then you need to go back and reassess if this is a viable market for you. If it is not, you need to change it. You cannot fall in love with what you're doing if it's not working. You need to be willing to change what's not working. Just like if you were going down the road and you realized via GPS you were going the wrong direction. Do you keep going down the wrong direction because you don't feel like turning around? You don't feel like going all the way back? You don't feel like taking all the time that you spent to get down to where you are right now to go back down where you came from so you can get back on track? No, you just turn around, you go back, because you know if you continue to go in the wrong direction, you're not going to get where you want to go. It's the same thing in business. Don't keep doing the same wrong thing over and over and over and expecting to get around to the right thing. Okay, just when you realize there's something not working, stop what you're doing, assess it, go back. You might need to choose another target market, another product, another service, or something to blog about. Okay, especially those that are not business owners right now of any form of fashion. Okay, you can blog about your passion. You can blog about knitting if you want to. You can blog about basketball or politics or whatever from that standpoint. All right, so I hope that in itself has given a little bit of insight in reference to that first little section there of that. Okay, we'll keep going because we got a little bit of content here tonight to go through, but I just want to do a little checking in here and see what's happening out there, and make sure that everyone is with me and that we are on the same page and that I am not moving too crazily where you guys are not keeping up with what the heck is going on. Okay, so let me kind of do a little check-in right here and see what's going on. So let's see. All right, so are there any questions or anything like that as it relates to what we're doing right now? Hopefully everybody has it, and if there are, I'll come back here and I'll take a look and see what you guys have at that point. Okay, so great. So let's just keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's see. For the really new people, talking about making a list is great, but where does this list actually exist? Okay, this list exists in your database. Right? And there are a couple of tools that many marketers use, one or the other generally, and one of those tools is called Aweber, and the other one of those tools is called GetResponse. There are other tools like iContact and some other resources as well, but when somebody puts their name and email in a form that you have on the internet, it automatically is going to connect to the database that you have set up, so long as you've done the proper mechanics behind the scenes to make sure that happens. Okay? If you need help with that, you need to contact the service provider that you're buying your information from. For example, if you are a customer of Aweber, contact Aweber. They will help you. Okay? If you are a customer of GetResponse, contact GetResponse. They'll help you. If you are a customer of iContact, contact iContact. And they will help you make sure that you are linked up properly. But essentially, that's where the list is. The list is inside of that database. It's like instead of in your Rolodex, instead of in a file where you flip through cards and everybody's name and phone number and address is on your desk and you're flipping through. So if it's sitting, that's like, where's that list? That list is in a Rolodex, right? That's where it is. Well, what we're doing, we're taking it off of the physical cards and we're putting it into a virtual online server. Right? And now you can see the names of the people, their names and their emails, or whatever information you're asking for inside of your form, and you can see all of that inside of that service provider's back office. Okay, that's where the list is. Where's this information found and how to connect with those on the list? Okay, that's not about blogging. Okay, that is a question about Aweber, about GetResponse. So where is this information found? It's found inside of Aweber. Okay, it's found inside of Get Response. It's found inside of iContact. And how do you connect with those on your list? By email, autoresponder. Autoresponder is how you connect with them. Okay, that is how, and how that all works. That process is not, we're not talking about email marketing tonight. Okay, we're not talking about email marketing. We're talking about blogging tonight. So I will tell you this. How that all works is the questions that you need to pose to Aweber, Get Response, iContact, whoever your database service provider is. Okay? Simple, simple, simple. That's what you got to do. Contact them. All right. Next thing. Exact step-by-step, beginning to end regarding the blog. You know, I'm not sure really what that means. Is another one. Could you specifically break down the process for new bloggers, or as we all call them at YouTube, vloggers, like video blogs? Look, guys, the process is this. It's the exact step-by-step. Okay, here's the exact step-by-step. You come up with something that you want to talk about. Let's say that you want to talk about, like I was talking about this hangout tonight, right? So my blog post recently, I just talked about this hangout tonight, right? And so what I did was, step by step, I logged into my blog, okay? I went to where I could create a post. I actually wrote the title to my post up there, and I put in there what I wanted to say. I just typed in there what I wanted to say, okay? And then I added a picture. All right, that's what I did. I added a picture. And after I added a picture, then I made sure everything looked the way I wanted it to look. And then I went down to the bottom, and then I put in there the tags, which will essentially be keywords. So I put in there Tracy Walker. I put in there make money blogging. I put in there how to blog. I put in there how to start a blog. I put things in there that if someone were to be on my blog looking for this type of content, that if they type those things in the search function of my particular blog, they would find it. Okay, so that's what those tags are. I put a description in there, right, of what this blog post was about, and then I hit publish. Guys, that's all you have to do to get started with to get the blog up there. That's all that you have to do. This isn't anything technical whatsoever. And if you're gonna do a video, well, instead of putting a picture on your blog, well, then at that point you would sit down. You would actually take your phone or take whatever device you have, a flip cam, or maybe you have an actual video camera or something like that, and you video yourself. You video yourself. You say what you have to say on your video, right? And then you upload that video, let's say, to YouTube. You can do it right through the app on your phone. You upload that video right to YouTube, and then you take the embed code from that YouTube video and you put it on the blog. You embed it on the blog, okay? And when you do that and you hit publish again, now it's a video blog because you got a video on the page. That's all you're doing. It's not like it's something different. It's just the format, it's the multimedia that's being used on the blog. So the blog, if it has a video, is really like a video log, right? If it's more of a written post, then it's just a regular blog. If you have a lot of audio, then it's an audio blog, okay? That's just what it is. So that is specifically the process. That's, boom. That's how you get that thing rocking and rolling, okay? That's it. That's all you got to do. What you do if you had to start from absolute scratch today, I would do the exact same thing I just told you, because it's no different. I don't do anything different today than I did when I started. I want you to think about it like this. Michael Jordan, you know, is one of the all-time greatest players in the game of basketball, as we know it, right? And he started off learning 3 simple skills, right, which was dribbling, passing, and shooting. Right? Those are the basic skills that he learned. And he got better and better and better and better at what? Dribbling, his skill set in dribbling, his skill set in passing, and his skill set in shooting. He practiced that over and over and over and over and over and over, all through high school, all through college, all through his time in the NBA. He practiced it on the court when he was with his team. He practiced it on the court when he was not with his team. He had a basketball court in his house because he was that serious about it that he would go to his own basketball court and practice dribbling, passing, and shooting with his friends or his kids or whatever it was, or with himself even, to hone his skills. And the fact that he learned those basic fundamentals, that would be what he would do today. That's like asking Michael Jordan, hey, what would you do to start from scratch today? Well, starting from scratch today is no different than starting from scratch yesterday. I still have to learn these basic fundamentals of dribbling, passing, and shooting. And for me, it's no different in terms of the blogging. What I would do today is I would do what I did back then. What I did was I blogged every single day. I wrote a blog post every single day. Sometimes it was a video blog. Sometimes it's just a regular blog. Sometimes it was an audio blog, okay? But I did a blog post every single day without fail. Why? Because I had to build the skill set. Now, whether everybody in the world was seeing the blog post or not, I don't know. I didn't concern myself with that. What I concerned myself with was me building up the muscle and the regimen of how to blog, of how to create content from here and from here, of how to then take this content and make sure that it's relevant to the marketplace, monitoring the process of whether people were interacting with me or not. That is the same thing that I do today, that if I had to start all over, I would do the exact same thing, because that skill set clearly has paid me very well, and I wouldn't change anything about how I did it because it worked. Okay, it worked. And then what I'm telling you to do is just that, is you go to your blog and you blog every day. There's no way for you to get better, or there's no better way for you to learn other than by doing it. I can't read to you about how to make great free throw shots, and you sit down and you listen to me tell you stories about all these great free throw shots. You have got to get out on the court and you've got to shoot the free throw shots. That's the only way you are going to get better. I can tell you all day long about what theoretically should happen for you to be better, but until you do it yourself, well, you know, that's kind of a missing component for a lot of people. They want to avoid doing it, or they want to do it for a little bit, and because they don't see results right away, then they want to quit. Well, you can't do that, okay? So that's what I would do every single day. My routine, your exact step-by-step daily routine. Look, guys, and here's, okay, I'll give you some of that, but here's what I want you to understand. My routine is different than what your routine may be. Why? Because I'm at a different point in my business right now. Right, I'm 5 years in right now, okay? I've got money coming in right now on a consistent daily, weekly, monthly basis, right? My bills are paid now. I'm not stressed now. None of that exists, all right? And so my personal routine may or may not be of any help to you at this point, because it's more of a 2-hour-a-day routine. And I don't know if you can do what I do and in the same 2 hours get the result that I would get in the 2 hours, okay? So I'll share with you the routine, but you're going to have to realize is that it may take you longer to do what I do, because I've been doing it so long, I can do it fast. I can sit down and write a blog post fast because I can connect with my market very quickly, and I can speak to a problem that they're facing because I've heard about it, and I'm giving my opinion on how to solve it, and I can do that very, very quickly, right? I understand that. You might still be working on putting your words together and making sure you're conveying the message right and finding your voice and how you're going to deliver the information, and, you know, maybe you're a perfectionist, right, and you got to have everything super, super grammatically correct and punctual, you know, everything, the punctuation has to be exactly, you know, the way the teacher would have it, and I've kind of at a point where it doesn't have to be that way for me. I want it to be correct, and I want it to be grammatically correct, and I want the punctuation to be where it's supposed to be. But hey, look, if I put a dash where a comma's supposed to go, or a colon where a semicolon is supposed to go, or I spell a word wrong, or this or that, you know, that's not going to stop me from publishing the post. I'm publishing the post, and I'm getting on with the day. So here's what I do, if you really want to know what I do. And again, here's a disclosure. This may or may not be how you can do your business at this point, because I don't know exactly where you are and if you've scaled up to a point where you're able to do this. But here's what I do. I get up in the morning, and I actually have some tabs set across my screen, my Firefox tabs, and I have a Facebook tab. I have an email tab. I have two email. I have a Gmail tab and my other type of email tab I have. I have an AWeber tab. I have an Empower Network tab. I have some video software I use. I have that tab open. I have a couple other. Oh, I have a Law of Attraction quotes of the day tab, and I have couple other things. I can't think of what it is right now. But anyway, I will go through each of these tabs and do the work I need to do appropriately on each tab. So for example, the Law of Attraction tab. I will look at that tab. I will read the comment for that day, and I will say, okay, how can I apply this to my life? How can I internalize this? How can I live this thing out today? And keep reminding myself today of how to do this thing. And that's what that tab is for, to help me mentally get on track in a positive direction, focus on the things that I do want, as opposed to complaining about things that I don't want. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then I might go to the Facebook tab and I'll say, let's see what's happening on Facebook. Who's communicating with me? What information is it that I need to know in reference to building this team, in reference to the leadership council that works with me, in reference to the Leadership Council for Empower Network, where Dave and some other leaders there, we're communicating about different things happening there. My admin type of roles, working with my assistant, things like that. I'm seeing what's going on Facebook from that standpoint. Then I go over to my fan page and I think about some content that I can create. I look at the comments that people have posted. I delete comments that are ridiculous and that are demeaning. I delete things that do not add value to my page, and then I look at things that do add value. I say, okay, well, this is great. Or somebody makes a suggestion, I say, all right, and I write down the different ideas, right, of how I can deliver a solution to that problem or whatever. Then I'll go and I'll check my Facebook inbox and I'll literally answer questions in there. Some of them I don't answer because some of them are a waste of time because they might say things like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Okay, thank you, right? Oh, can I marry you? Okay, thank you. Right, so some of those I just, that's not business related to me, so I'm not answering those. Some people are wanting to do all types. They want me to join their businesses and stuff, and then I'm responding to that. And then sometimes I'm talking to people about how to do something, whether it's to join my business or to do whatever. Right, I might answer some of those things, help people direct them to the right page, the right link, or the right resource, essentially to have them do that. So once I get done with Facebook, then I'll literally go up to my AWeber, and then I'll see, okay, well, how many leads did I have today so far? How many leads did I get yesterday? And I'll think, okay, well, now I need to create an email I'm going to send out to my list. So what is it I can talk about today? And I'll go back to what I was looking at on Facebook. Maybe I got an idea there, or I just had something on my heart that I want to share anyway. Maybe I'm selling something at that particular time. Maybe I'm just sharing an activity that I just came from, or an experience I just had. And likewise, I will go in and I will literally write an email from my heart to my list. Okay. Sometimes I might look at what Dave may have or what somebody else may have, and I might swipe that copy. In other words, copy and paste some of the information that they have into mine if it's relevant. But a lot of times I'm not doing that because I'm talking about what I want to talk about. Right, to my list. I'm sharing things that I believe will be of value and of benefit to them. Right, and so I might share things like this, like, hey, I'm going to be doing a hangout about this, and or join me over here for that. Or have you ever thought about? I did a video the other day about how to find a mentor. Right, it was because I started getting a lot of information from people about, I want you to be my mentor. I want you to be my mentor, and I had to realize that I don't know anything about these people. Let me share with them my process on how I found my very first mentor online. Okay, and I taught people that process in that video. I took that video and I put it on my blog, and then I emailed that blog post to my list. Right? I mean, so I did that. I will take whatever I want to share, put it on my blog, and then email the blog to the list. I will take whatever I want to share, put it on the blog, and then email the blog to the list. Okay? Sometimes I might just email the list directly without sharing with them what's on my blog. But 8 out of 10 times, I'm posting on my blog something, and then I'm emailing to my list what I just posted to my blog. Because that way, I don't have to keep creating content over and over and over. It's the same content, repurposed, shared on my blog, then it's repurposed, it's shared with my email list, it's repurposed, it's shared on Facebook, it's repurposed, a picture is taken and it's shared on Instagram, it's repurposed, it's taken, it's shared on YouTube, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. So once I do that, Then I'm usually back in communication with my assistant in reference to some things that I have going on. You know, for a while we were getting the taxes together, right? So we're back and forth with the accountants, just, you know, admin stuff I have to do, making sure my corporations and my LLCs and everything is together. So a lot of that type of stuff is going on in my day. Dealing with my stepkids and you know, working on whatever's going on with school, and I edited my stepson's essay, right, for college admissions. I mean, that's going on during my day sometimes, right? And at the end of it all, I may even be in I'm doing a training right now on some skill sets that I want to learn. So I've missed the 2 webinars live because I had conference calls at exactly those same times, both on Monday and Wednesday. So I'm going back. When I'm done, I'm watching the video recordings of that, taking all my notes on what I'm learning in those video trainings, and I'm implementing, doing my homework late at night on that. Okay, you know, once I get that done, I'm pretty much done throughout the day. So in terms of my income-producing activities, what am I doing? I'm writing a blog post, or I'm shooting a video and putting it on my blog post. I'm taking that blog post, I'm emailing it to my list, I'm communicating, watching the feedback from the list, I'm taking that information, putting it on my fan page, putting it on my Facebook, taking that same video, if I did a video, making sure it's on YouTube, taking a picture of my blog post, putting it on Instagram sometimes if I remember to do that. I'm not like the biggest Instagram marketer, but at times I will remember to do that, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that and get some interaction from there. That's really what I'm doing. It only takes me about a couple of hours a day to do the income-producing activities. But all that stuff with my accountant and with my assistant and, you know, leadership council stuff and, you know, admin stuff over here and editing essays over here and helping my stepdaughter with homework over here, those are things outside of the 2-hour work frame, which still get done, but it's not the income-producing activity. But the income-producing activity, one last time, is writing my blog post or doing the video that goes on the blog post, sharing that blog post with my list, sharing that with fan page on Facebook, on the fan page, on the profile page, on Instagram, or any other social media that I have, as well as possibly buying traffic. I might buy ads from Facebook that drives traffic to my fan page, right? Me making sure that's okay and monitoring that whole process. I'll do that, but I'm done in a couple hours with that. Okay, if I'm working on a new project, I'm spending a lot of time with things. I just developed a coaching program, right? So I was putting some time together to get the coaching program together. But now that's done, right? So now I don't have any time allocated to that. But that's my step-by-step daily routine. Okay, then I'll get done with that. Now basketball season is happening, so now we're going to basketball practice with my stepdaughter. Then our games are starting, right? Football season is here with my stepson, so every Friday night we're going to these football games, right? So that's my daily routine, step-by-step, explained in detail. Okay, I do have a life too. It's not all about marketing. It's not all about that. For those of you that know, I'm getting ready to have a baby too. So I'm making sure I'm staying healthy and I'm not getting too out of control and overzealous and being so overactive and things of that sort. Making sure my doctor's appointments are set and I'm following what I'm supposed to follow and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things going on. But at the end of the day, I'm still blogging. Right, at the end of the day, I'm still posting to my list or posting the content on my blog, still sending that information to my list. I'm still sending it to Facebook on my page and on my profile page. I'm still putting it on Instagram. I'm still driving traffic or buying ads from Facebook or wherever else I'm buying traffic from, driving it to my lead capture pages. I'm still doing that no matter what's going on. Right, and I've got other people in place to help me do a lot of that as well because I can leverage the income now where I don't have to do a lot of that myself. Okay, so that's the way that would work there. Okay, let me come back over here for a second, and let me just check on a couple things here to make sure that we are all still on track with everything that's going on. Okay, great. So, we're doing well here. Great. All right. So let me come back to our little questions here that I have. All right, or our little document. We did the routine respect. What is the fastest way to earn the respect as an expert? Here's the thing. Earning the respect as an expert is about consistency, and it's about your knowledge of the topic that you're choosing to talk about. it's kind of hard for people to respect what you're saying when what you're saying is always being proven as incorrect. Right? If you're just coming up with stuff just to be coming up with stuff, then clearly no one regards you as being an expert, and you haven't earned anyone's respect. So be knowledgeable about what you're talking about, right? So if you're the dentist, be knowledgeable about dentistry. Okay, if you sell, mouse pads, be knowledgeable about mouse pads. If you sell vitamins, be knowledgeable about the vitamins. If you sell, telephones, be knowledgeable about the telephones. If you sell cell phone service, be knowledgeable about the cell phone service. Like, you've got to know something about what it is that you're talking about, so that when you go out in the marketplace and you actually present this information to others via your blog in the form of a video or through written content, people can learn things from you that they otherwise would not have learned, or they can validate what they've heard through watching you, or disregard what they've heard through watching or listening to you. That's how you do that. So the fastest way to do that is to know what you're talking about to the extent of some skill level, where when people see you, they say, okay, he or she, they know what they're talking about, right? As opposed to that person, they always talking about this, but I just saw here it was this, or CNN said this, right? And some other source is blowing you out of the water because you're not congruent. I'm not talking about your opinions. Your opinion about something can be different, but the facts about something must be congruent and must make sense for people, right? And that's how that happens. And now, how do you build it fast? It's about your consistency, right? How often are you sharing your knowledge? How often are you sharing the information that you have with the people who care about that particular chosen topic? How often are you feeding them that? Right? And if you're feeding them that consistently, especially if you're beginning, if you're feeding them that consistently, then over time, they will just know that you are the go-to person for that. You don't have to say it. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to do any of that. They will know that you are the go-to person, because that is an internal feeling that people have. Trust, right? Respect. That comes from them aligning with you, and that's like a soul-to-soul type of situation. That's nothing to do with any tactical skill that you can have, other than you being knowledgeable, other than you being authentic, and other than you being consistent. Other than that, it's a personal skill. That is a personal skill that you have to develop in terms of communicating with people via video or via the written word. So the fastest way is to blog about, or share articles about, or do videos about your chosen topic of interest. Expose and express your skill set by offering value, by solving problems, by being a person that is understanding and a person that is literally, looking to help other people. That's how you do it. The speed, though, the speed's going to come down to how effective you are in that process. I don't know if you communicate that well, right, with your chosen market. You might not communicate well with your market at all. Some of you may communicate pristine with your market. And so for you, maybe the speed is lightning speed, and for somebody else, it might be a snail pace. Okay, so don't worry about speed. What you need to worry about is you building a muscle of it, building a skill of it. Right? You don't go to the gym. I mean, you might want to go to the gym and say, well, how fast can I lose 20 pounds? That's great. But I'm almost certain that a personal trainer would say, well, we don't want to really worry about how fast, because we want to do it right. You want to do it healthy, and you don't want to put your body in shock. Right? That's more important than speed. And it's the same thing here. We don't want to violate, the trust, or violate people's, whatever they have going on, because you're worried about speed. So really, you need to be focused on just delivering the content consistently, and doing it persistently, and coming from a perspective of knowledge and skill, as opposed to just a person who looks like you're just trying to sell a bunch of stuff, because people can tell the difference. Okay? So that's how that works. Let's talk about promotion and marketing here for a second. What promotion steps should one take when starting out on a shoestring budget? Social media. Social media would be the promotion steps that I recommend you take if you're starting out on a shoestring budget. Why? Because you have access to a bunch of people in locations where it's community based. We talked about that before, where it's community based, and you can reach them by purely sharing content that is valuable and helpful to them, and then allowing them the opportunity to share it, to like it, to comment on it, to embed it. To do a whole host of things. That's what I would recommend that you do, because it's the easiest thing, and you have the benefit of having like the world at your fingertips. Although you are not talking to the whole world, you are talking to your specific niche segment. But your specific niche segment, you have a greater amount of them that are on social media than if you were to go outside and try to go to Starbucks and find them. Right? Or go outside and try to knock on all the doors in your neighborhood and find them. Or go outside and put a whole bunch of flyers on people's cars and find them. I'm not saying don't do those things if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying that you have a much more efficient and effective way of reaching those people because they're already in one place. If they're already right here, it's easier to bring you as one person over to where they are than it is for you to stay over here and be belligerent and rebellious and try to get all 600,000 of these people over here to you. That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to just go where they are. They're already on Facebook. They're already on YouTube. They're already on Pinterest. They're already on LinkedIn. They're already on Instagram. So you need to insert yourself where they are accordingly. And that would be the promotions as I would take there, and learn how to syndicate, learn how to blog, learn how to consistently create content and share your content with as many people as possible. That's what you have to do. You could even do some low budget types of advertising, such as maybe running solo ads and buying or renting other people's email lists for you to send emails to those people's lists about your content and gaining other people to get onto your list. Okay, those would be the basic things that you can do on a shoestring budget. Another thing, the goal is to get higher or to get bigger and deeper promotion, reinvesting profits into paid traffic. But how do you start off promoting one's content using free methods? I just shared that, right? That's how you do it. You take your content, you post it in social media communities. But you don't spam people with it. You don't just go to a group, let's say on Facebook, and just post your link in the group just because, that's what people are. You're not adding any value that way. Secondly, you're not even showing that you have any respect for the people in the group. Number one, is this a group that even cares about what you're talking about? If you sell office supplies, then you need to go to a group where people who buy office supplies are always talking about what they need in terms of office supplies. And then when you go in that group, you have to share a little something first on that before you just post your link. You just copy and post your link. Right? Who does that? No, I mean, spammers and amateurs do that. How you build relationships with people is you go into that group and you say, hey, listen, guys, I've noticed over the past couple of days or the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of discussion about, where to get the best office supplies. And I've actually took the time to come up with my top 3 places where you can get office supplies, and I wrote a blog post about it. So here's the link to check it out if you're interested on, solving that problem for yourself. And you post a link like that. Background information. Don't just post the link. Offer value to the community. The same thing on your page itself. The same thing on your Pinterest itself. The same thing on a meetup group itself, or a community on the internet part meetup group. Same thing on any type of social media. That is how you start off. You start off by taking content that you have created and sharing it with other people by offering them value in terms of solutions to problems that they already have. And as you start generating leads as a result of that, and as you start generating sales as a result of converting those leads, then yes, you can take that money and start reinvesting back into some additional paid advertising. What is the best type of marketing for blogs? My opinion is that there is no best type of marketing for anything, because best depends on your strategy, which should be independent to your business. Best also depends on what's going to be most effective for your market. right? I could say that the best thing you should do to market your blog is to get it put on a postcard and stick it up on a billboard on the highway. I could say that, right? And that may be the most effective thing for me because of the type of business I may have, because that works for my customer. But maybe for you, posting up that on the billboard is not the most effective or best for you because your people don't even drive. In fact, maybe you're targeting people who may be paraplegic. Right? So maybe they're not out on the highway constantly driving back and forth every day to work. So your particular prospect has lesser chance of seeing that than mine, which means best is relative. So guys, get away from best and this and that. It's what's the most effective for you, and it's a personal situation depending on who your target market is and where your target market is already at. I just talked about that. If your target market is already reading home business magazines, then maybe you should do an ad and maybe your blog is inside of that home business magazine. Right? If your audience is already listening to the morning radio show, then maybe you should get an ad spot on the radio show. If your market is already on Facebook at a certain period of time where they're doing certain things, then maybe you should market on Facebook. If your target market is already in, Chamber of Commerce meetings, then maybe you should get yourself and put yourself into a Chamber of Commerce and go speak your message and refer them back to your blog. It's going to depend. Okay, so the best type of marketing is always relative to the market that you have, what you're selling, and what your overall marketing strategy is. Okay, reaching a wider audience. Well, reaching a wider audience really comes down to your ability to scale up your business and then being able to reinvest to buy the reach, right? To buy the reach. You can start off, for example, having a local clothing store, right? And you can reach everybody that's local to that area. But once you start generating and turning over more of a profit, you can literally now open up a second store. Right? And when you open up a second store on the other side of town, doesn't that now expand your reach, building a wider audience? Yes, now you have 2 stores, right? And if you really want to go, then now you can create a franchise model, and then you can have a location in every city in every state if you wanted to. You build a wider audience by scaling up, and it's the same thing here. You might start off with the audience that's right here, but as you start to convert this audience and build trust in this audience, and this audience now becomes your customer base, then those customers will have word of mouth, of course, and they will help spread the word a little bit, right? But your ability to take your profits and reinvest them into advertising, where now you can go into other markets. And when I say other markets, I mean other platforms, right? So right now you might only be doing Facebook marketing, which is great. But maybe after a while you can start putting some money behind literally driving traffic to web pages and driving traffic to, using different types of tools that are out there and hiring someone to help you to do that. So you're in the process, but somebody else can manage that. Somebody, helping you to get on television helps you get a wider audience. Helping you to be on radio helps you get a wider audience. Helping you to spread yourself across other social media platforms or speak in front of larger audiences or different audiences helps you to widen your reach. So that's going to be more of a scalable thing that you're going to have to do step by step, as opposed to right now. If you don't have an audience at all, then you really can't worry about building a wider audience. What you need to do is get the initial audience together, get them engaged in what you're doing, get them talking about you, get them buzzing about you, where they're spreading the word about you, where they're sharing the content about you, where they're retweeting about you, where they're taking your videos and posting it on their blogs and sharing it with their lists about you, where they're doing that so that you have a lot of social proof and you're generating sales. Then you can buy traffic to help you expand your reach because you're paying for it, okay? So that was kind of like a really nice, easy segue into traffic here. So let's talk about that. Let's see. The easiest way to get in front of traffic, how to get traffic that converts. sales to your blog fast. Okay, the easiest way to get in front of traffic. Look, you're in front of traffic every day. Okay, you're in front of traffic every single day. When you're on Facebook, that's traffic, right? When you're on Google, that's traffic. When you are reading a home-based business magazine, that's traffic, right? Now, if you want to get in front of that traffic, then you need to be advertising in that magazine. If you want to get in front of that traffic on Facebook, you need to be advertising there, right? If you want to get in front of the traffic, anything that you're doing, you need to now make it known that you are there, right? And how do you make it known that you are there? You got to open up your mouth and let people know that you are there virtually. And how do you do that? Usually by advertising, right? You need to have a lead capture page. And your lead capture page needs to talk about what you're offering to people in exchange for their name and their email, right? Or if you have your blog can be, right, talking about how to do something, right? How to tie your shoes in 3 simple steps. Well, clearly, the best way to get in front of the Google traffic is to have an article or video that talks about how to tie your shoes in 3 simple steps, but you research the keywords that people are searching about how to tie your shoes in 3 simple steps, and make sure your content is SEO'd and it is matching that search. Right? If you have how to tie my shoes and how to tie your shoes in 3 simple steps, and you have not found out who's asking how to tie shoes in 3 simple steps, and you have not made sure that your content is where the people are who are already asking for how to tie my shoes in 3 simple steps, you're missing the whole point of marketing, let alone internet marketing. Marketing is about taking a problem that people have, I said this before, and you realizing that you are offering a solution, and you being able to offer the solution to their problem. You are the bridge between the problem and the solution. And there's a sale made. As the marketer, you get paid for that. Okay? So the better you get at matching a problem to a solution to the market that has the problem, the better you will get at being able to get in front of that traffic. So from an SEO perspective, a search engine perspective, you need to get your content on the first page of Google by making sure you're doing your keyword research appropriately and that your content fits that keyword search and that you're showing up in the rankings on the first page. If you want to get in front of the traffic without it having to be organic in that way, then you need to buy it. And if you want to sell house shoes, then you need to find people who are looking to buy house shoes. You can still Google research, do keyword research for that, but now you need to find locations where people who want to buy house shoes are and put your link or your lead capture page or your blog or your video in their face. In their face, guys. That's how that works. How to get traffic that converts to sales to your blog. Look, you get traffic that converts when you have a match of who's looking for what you're talking about. Guys, this is the major theme of everything. Traffic that converts. That's just like saying how can somebody get you to buy an iPhone fast? How can Apple get people into their store where they convert into buyers fast? Well, they can do that by driving people into their store that already want the device, right? If they advertise to me on TV, and if they're sending me postcards in the mail, and if they are, whatever they're doing to advertise, or they're on social media, right? And I'm hearing it word of mouth, and I decided that I wanted an iPhone. The fact that I want one, they created the desire for me to want one, means that now what's going to help me convert fast is me already wanting it. Not them having to convince me I want it, not me not even knowing that it exists, me knowing that it exists, me looking for a solution to my problem, and me deciding to go to Apple to get the solution. That's what converts fast. Matching up people who have what you have, who want what you have, and giving it to them. That's the fastest. When you have a bunch of people who don't even want what you have, it can be traffic, but it won't be converting traffic because nobody cares. So you have to get good at matching people up, those who want something solved, with you solving it. And you bringing those people together means conversion. And the better you get at that, the faster it will happen for you. Okay? Same thing here. How do you convert traffic into cash? I just said that. How to get traffic to the blog? I just talked about that. Getting traffic to the blog. We already talked about that. What's your most successful method to drive traffic to your site? My most successful method is using Facebook. I am a social person. I'm a social media type of person. So I love to interact in that way. So for me personally, I love using Facebook to drive traffic. I get hundreds of leads every single day just from Facebook. Right? But I am building a following. I am paying attention to it. I do have a strategy behind it. I am running ad campaigns to it. It's not like I'm just going on Facebook and I'm saying, oh, I want to get traffic from Facebook. Let me post my link, and I'm sitting there waiting crickets to see who's going to click my link. No, I am aggressively looking for the people. I'm doing research on who's looking for what I have, and I'm trying my best to align myself with these people through advertising campaigns, through targeting them, through inviting them to my fan page, and through sharing the content on that page that then gets people to say, okay, you know what, I have a need or want of what this woman is talking about. I'm interested. Let me get on her hangout. Let me look at her training. Let me buy this course. Let me buy this training. Let me get this blog. Let me whatever, right? That's my most successful method. For you, it may be something completely different because there are tons of people that don't like social media in that way, right? They'd rather just do some solo ads or something like that, or run magazine advertisements, run radio spots or TV spots. They just rather do that. And that's fine too if it's working for them and they have the budget to do that, okay? The importance of consistent blogging. Well, the importance goes back to wanting people to respect you and having this expert stamp put upon your forehead. That's on one side of the fence. The other side of the fence is that when your content stays fresh, the search engines are picking it up. Right, so it could be a technical benefit or technical importance, as well as a more personal importance or a brand building importance as well. And then for you, it's an internal thing. It's that you're consistent, and the importance of consistent blogging means that you're in the game. Right, you can't be in the NBA and not consistently play basketball. Like, what sense does that even make? You're going to play basketball every day for the most part, right? Because that's what you do. So if you're going to be a blogger, it's no different. You go to work every day, don't you? Consistently go to work. Whether you like what you do or you don't like what you do, you find yourself there. Well, why? Well, what's the importance of you consistently going to work? Getting a paycheck, right? That's the importance of it. So if you don't care about the paycheck, then you don't have to consistently go. Right? And same thing here. If you don't care about the results of how blogging can help you build your business and getting more customers and getting more clients and maybe generating more leads or building your brand awareness, if you don't care about any of that, then you don't have to consistently blog. Just like if you don't care about your paycheck, you don't have to consistently go to work. You can go when you want to or not go at all. And you just run the risk of the consequences of whatever that may be. So guys, I just want you to align this stuff with just regular things in life every single day. Like, this isn't any different than anything else. What's the importance of consistently eating? What is the importance of consistently taking a shower? Right? The importance is that it's tied to the result of what happens if you don't do it. Right? If you don't eat every day, then clearly you can go hungry. Right? And so the importance of, if you don't take a shower every day, is that you will start to smell. Right? And if you don't want to smell, then clearly it's important that you consistently shower. Right? So what's the importance of consistently coming home every night when you're in a relationship? If you care about the relationship, then you would consistently come home every night. Right? So same thing here. What's the importance? The importance is that if you want to have a business where people recognize you as an expert, where people see that you are real and people see that you are serious about the topic that you're talking about, and people can see you as a valued resource, a valued and trusted source, if you care about that and you want that, then then that's the importance of blogging, okay? Consistent blogging. Engagement, the best way to keep people engaged. Well, the best way to keep people engaged is to talk to them about, I talked about this earlier, to talk to them about things that they already want to talk about, or things that are extremely fun. Like when I talked about I was going to do this hangout, I asked a question. I said, what is it you want to know about blogging, right? That was easy to get people engaged because I was asking people who are on my fan page about things that they already want to know about. Right? That's how the post kept going and going, and comment after comment after comment, and share after share after share after share. It happened without me. Why? Because I posted a question about something that people give a darn about. There are some times when I post things that people don't give a darn about just the same, and I notice it right away. Like, okay, nobody cares about that. Right? I can post something else and get a ton of likes, clicks, and shares right away. And other times I post something and I'm like, where are all the people? And it's a learning. You just learn. Nobody cares about that. So don't talk about that anymore unless you just don't want any engagement. Okay? So the best way is to literally talk about things they want to talk about. How to get people engaged and respond. Same thing I just said. Engaging the readers, establishing a fan base, and making the money. Now here's the thing about the making the money part. The money comes after the trust. Right? The money comes after they trust that you actually can provide a solution to their problem. If people don't believe that you can solve their problem, they aren't going to buy. Right? It's not just about buying. People don't just buy for no reason. People buy because they want something. Right? That's what they do. They buy because they want to solve a problem, or they want to fulfill a need, or they want to close a gap in something. That's why people buy. And making money is about you doing that on a consistent basis, right? You can make a sale once, but then you need to figure out how did you make that sale? Who did you make that sale to? And what was it that had that person purchase in the first place? And if you can start identifying what those things are, then you can start implementing those things more aggressively and minimizing those other things that you think are important that clearly are not important. And now just focus on the things that are actually encouraging the sale, okay? How to get more engagement on my site. You have plenty of traffic but zero engagement. Okay, that's the same thing. Plenty of traffic and zero engagement means nobody cares about what you're talking about. You're getting the whole audience lined up, and they're all at Phillips Arena over here in Atlanta, right? They're all at the Georgia Dome, ready to see what you have going on. Right? And they get inside the Georgia Dome, and they're sitting down in their seats with their popcorn and their beer, or whatever, their peanuts and their beer, and then they thought that you were going to be talking about, they thought they were coming to a football game, right? And then you got out there and you started talking about monkeys climbing trees. So you got tons of people, and they're all sitting there looking like, what is this guy talking about? Who even cares? They're on their phones, they're getting up, they're not paying attention. It's because they're not interested. Look, it's a very basic principle. If your kids aren't interested in something, what do? Everything else but pay attention, right? What do you do when you're not interested in something? Everything else but pay attention. So it's the same thing in your marketing. If people are not paying attention, it's very simple, especially if a lot of people looking at you. You're not talking about jack that they want to talk about. So try asking them, what is most important to you? What would you like to hear? What would you like for me to address? What would you feel would be of benefit to you? How can I be of benefit to you? You need to ask them now, what do they want? And then when they start telling you what they want, then you turn around and give them what they want, and trust me, your engagement levels will go up. Developing a list to send my blog to. Okay, developing a list is all about you having a lead capture page and you being able to capture names and emails. How you do that, I said earlier, is you can actually run Facebook advertising campaigns to your lead capture page. You can create the lead capture page and actually buy traffic or rent lists. You can rent other people's lists. We call them solo ads, and you can pay $200 or $65 or whatever it costs. It depends on the person and their list. You do though want to make sure that it's a targeted list and that it is not just a list of whoever. You don't want a list of people that buy red dresses and you sell purple shoes, right? You want to know you want a list of shoe buyers, not a list of dress buyers. right? So you want people that are buyers or who have interest in what it is that you are selling, and then you run that email to that other list, somebody else's list, and you put your link in there to your lead capture page. And when those people on that other person's list see what you have, if it's a match for them, they will opt into your email list. They will put their name and their email into your form. And now those people that were on that list are now on your list. Okay, so you can do that. You can go and you can, you can survey other people and ask them to opt into your list, just to provide some information on how you can better serve them, right? So how you build a list is all about you taking your lead capture page and putting it in front of people who are actually looking for what you have, and you asking them to give you their email in exchange for the information that you have, the free video, the free report, the free audio, the this, the that, whatever it is that you're offering them. And that's what you need to do. You can do that through YouTube, right? You can go on YouTube and you can say, hey, listen, you can do a video, and in every video you do, you say, hey, listen, to get my free training on how to do A, B, and C, go to www.whateveryourwebsite.com to get the free video, right? You got to tell people to go to the site, and then when they go to the site, if that's what they want, they will opt in. And when they opt in, they're on your list. So you have got to do marketing outside of the blog just to get people on the list. Look, the very first thing, if you look at this stuff in three categories, right? 3 categories. The very first thing that you have to do is you have to build an audience, right? I say this all the time. Look, if I were Beyonce, right? Whom I love, by the way. If I were Beyonce and I knew I was getting ready to have a concert here in Atlanta, right? And then 2 months went by, and I showed up in Atlanta with my whole team, with my dance routine and my songs put together, my whole playlist of what I'm going to do, and I get up on that stage, and I look out in the auditorium, and there's nobody there. What good is my concert? It's somebody's responsibility to market that concert, to promote that concert, to sell tickets to that concert, to get people in the seats. It's somebody's job to do that. Now, from a Beyonce team perspective, she's got people, a marketing department, a promotions department that the label probably sets up to do that for her, or her manager, or whoever. Somebody is doing that. It ain't her. She's the performer. Okay? And so for you, though, you might need to wear also the promotional hat, as well as the advertising hat, as well as the marketing hat, as well as the performer, because you are a solopreneur. You're a solopreneur right now, and you haven't been able to outsource all that stuff. So you have got to not only create the content, you not only have to perform the song and write the song and record the song and dance to the song. Not only do you have to create the content for the blog, record the video, post a video, okay? Not only are you doing that, you now need to also tell people how to get on the list, why they should join the list, and you need to do that every single chance you get. Why? Because that's the only way you're going to put butts in the seats. Butts in the seats equals your list. Right? You got to be the promotions department, just like you are the content creation department, just like you are the market research department. You're all the departments right now. And that's why you need to know some of all of this stuff so that you can tie it all together. Right? And what we're just trying to do, let's just say in Empower Network, is we're trying to take out the technical aspect of how to create the blog, set up the blog, do this, because we can't solve everything for you, but we can solve that. And if we can solve that problem, where all you got to do is just get it going, then it doesn't mean that you still don't have to do any market research, or have a marketing plan, or have a marketing budget, or have a promotional strategy, or have a content syndication strategy. It has nothing to do with any of that. It just means we made your studio easier for you to get into. Now you don't have to pay so much for studio time. You don't need to know how the boards work, where the engineers do what they do, because we've done that already. All you have to do is go in there and blog. right? But you still got to do the other stuff, okay? Finding more social networks to host my blog. Look, finding more social networks, you can do a Google search for that. Like social, I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of social networks. You shouldn't need more social networks. What you should be doing is maximizing the social networks right now that prove to be more effective for marketers. That's what you should be doing. You don't need more. It's not about quantity of social networks. It's about your ability to reach the quality of the target market that you want on the most effective social networks, which might only be 3 or 4 or 5 for you. You don't need more social networks to host and you say to post your blog. You don't need that. What you need is to become more proficient in how to use the social networks that you're already on, okay? And it looks like we're going to be wrapping this up real soon. So here's a couple technical things here. How the money would come in after a person makes a purchase. Listen, that depends. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, right, how does the money come in after you pay? How does the money come in when you go to a restaurant? How does the money come in after you pay? Well, you give the cashier your credit card, right, or your debit card. They swipe it on that machine. Right? When they swipe it on that machine, then they now have a statement, right, that they send in as like a little report that communicates with their merchant. There's a bank behind them, right? And your credit card gets swiped. Your credit card company or your bank then transfers the money over here to this people's bank, right? And now the Chinese restaurant can see the money in their account once the money is transferred to their account from that initial merchant account, right? That's how the money is made. It's the same thing here. If somebody buys something off of your website, you need to have a way for them to buy it, and you need to have a merchant account for that to happen, or some type of software or tool to collect payment. And when you have that tool to collect payment, then the money that they just paid will go into some sort of fund where Visa can verify the transaction. They're going to charge their fees, or MasterCard's going to charge their fees, whatever it is. The bank that's processing it's going to charge their fees, and they're going to send you the remaining. They're going to send you the remainder of that. Okay, and that's how every transaction works. It's no different online than it is offline, except for the fact that a person may not physically swipe their card. They may type the number in. They type the number in. It's the same thing, the same behind the scene thing that's happening. The merchant is getting that data. They're processing. The bank that's from the card is saying, oh, I need to pay these people $29 from this account. And they take and they look and say, okay, this person has $29. They send the $29 over here. Right? And then this person says, okay, well, this is great, but we need our fees now. That's Visa for processing it. And this person says, well, we need our fees now for at least holding the money to make sure that you got the money. And then they say, okay, we'll give you the rest. And they deposit it into your bank account. That's how it works. Okay. Right about, I'm not sure what that question is. What about the technical parts? Like once you have purchased the $25 blog, how do you set up and where to go from there? There's nothing to set up. Guys, I mean, if you're talking about Empower Networks, there's nothing to set up. Once you pay for your blog, it's already set up. Like, it's already there. I mean, all I can do here is, let me see. All I can do is, I just told you that's the whole point. There's nothing to set up. Let me see something here. If I can... find out if I can get this toolbox here. And see if I can do a screen share. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so let's just say, hold on. What do I want them to share? I'm going to share my desktop for a second. Okay, hold on a sec. Now let me just minimize this, and let me just minimize this. And let me just open up this Firefox. Oops. Let me open up another Firefox or another tab. See if I can get that going. Oopsie. Oh, wait. We've got that going. Okay. Let's do let's go here. Let's open up another tab altogether, right? And so I'm going to go to Empower Network, because somebody's asked me about Empower Network, so I'm going to log in and show you. So once you buy the blog, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Did I lose you? Because I don't see my little light on here. Hold on. I don't know if you guys, oh, because you're on my, we're doing the screen share now. Okay, never mind. Oh, wait a minute, it says the connection was lost. Can you guys not hear me or see me or something? It says that we're still live and we're still working. Okay, now I can't even find my mouse here. Okay, let's see. What in the world is going on? I don't know if you guys can see what's going on here. Looks like I may be stuck or frozen or something. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, it took a second. Good Lord. I want to make sure you guys can still see what's going on here. Okay, I think you can. All right, so here's the deal. So we're just gonna go into this here. Okay. So, and then let me type in my password. And so then when you get into Empower Network, you log in, and when you log in, all you got to do is come right here, right? All you got to do is come right here. This is, your blog is already there. So what you do is, this is a video, this is a picture, this is an audio, and this is written. You would click, let's say you want to do a video post. So you click right here. That's it. You type your title, right? You type your title right here. Add video. You click on add video, and you can embed the URL. Let's say you have a YouTube video. You just copy and paste the URL right there. Let's say you have a video file on your computer. Well, you click here, and then you can open up the files on your computer, okay? Or you might have some of the videos already, like if you're like me, you might have the video hosting for Empower, so I already have videos back here, right? But anyway, you choose whatever you want, and then you click Add Video, right? When you click Add Video, let's just show you this for a second. If I click that and then click Add Video, look what happens. The video just pops up right there. It's there, right? So the title goes here, the video goes here. It's simple. And then you just type what you want to type, blah, 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 blah. Right? You type that in. And after you type that in, then you come down here, you tell it who you want it to go to, let's say public blog, right? That's fine. Then you select the blog that you want. I'm going to say my Empower Network blog. You select a category, right? If you have categories. If you don't have any categories, you can add a new category. Right? Maybe this category is about personal development for you, or maybe you're talking about blogging, right? So you would either create a category or choose one that you already had, right? So in this case, I'm going to hit that, blogging, right? Then over here, you just put in, I told you some meta information here, so some tags, which would be like what's the main point, what's the main keyword that you have in here. Right, and then you would put that here, and then here the meta keywords. So then this would literally be, thanks, Colton. Then this would pretty much be things that are related to. So it might be blogging. It might be also make money blogging. It might also be how to start a blog. It might also be how to create a blog. It might also be blog for your business, right? It may be a bunch of different words that are related to the post up here if this is what you're talking about, blogging, right? And then you come down here and you want to make sure that whatever your main keyword is, it's inside of this description, right? And then you just hit publish. And when you hit publish, ladies and gentlemen, the blog is already there. There's nothing to set up, okay? That's all you need to do. And then you come up here and you go to view, edit your blog, right? And when you go to view, edit your blog is up. It's already there, right? It's already there, guys. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to set up. You just need to start blogging. Now, if you want to customize your blog, then you need to come over here to where this little plus sign is. You need to be logged in first, okay? And you need to click that. And when you click this little plus sign, all these different things open up for you. Like I have the colors that I want, right? I had this banner designed and put right there, but I changed this background to gray. I changed this background to light gray. I made all my words pink. How? Because I put the stuff up here. I played with different options to figure out what was working with what colors were what. Like I wanted my links to be pink, right? I wanted this read more to be yellow, so I changed that, right? See, that was yellow. Well, where is the yellow up here? That's this field, right? It's telling me that that field right there will make my button right here yellow, okay? That's what's happening. That's all you need to do. You can come in here and you can change your navigation bar, right? Which is essentially this right here, right? You can change the tabs that you want. All of that can be right there. You can customize pages that you want. Like this is a customized page. TV appearances is a customized page. Partner with me is a customized page, right? I can create these pages here and put them in my navigation bar accordingly. But you got to practice this stuff. And there doesn't need to be a training on it. Go in here as a CEO and kind of just play around with stuff and figure it out. You know, there's no training video for me. Right? How do you think I learned it? I went in there, I took some time, and I said, well, how do I change this color? How do I do this? How do I do that? Let me see what happens. You're not stuck with anything. You're not going to damage anything or erase anything by playing with colors and so on, right? You can add a new blog. You can have a custom domain if you want to. You can do all that stuff right from inside of here in terms of customizing it, okay? If you want to change this image, right here it says edit, upload image. Have somebody design an image for you and just upload it like a picture. It's nothing technical about this. There's nothing you need to do except come in here, go back to like I told you to where this is, you know, and choose one of these options and start blogging. That's all you need to do, okay? If you need some additional training, these are all the products that I own. I own every single product here. So if you only have the viral blogging system, then you click on that arrow, and what's going to happen? I've got trainings in there that I was given because I, you know, upgraded to the Blog Beast, right? So I've got trainings on some blogging and things like that, right? Inner Circle. I've got access to all my Inner Circle training that's in here, right? And it's just a list full of audios and things that we have done to help the community since day one, right? And we've been doing that every single week. Here we go. Chris Record did that last week. Get Rich or Die Trying. Who did that? I think maybe that was Justin. This person raised herself from failure to success, whatever. Creating cash on demand. That's, you know, a group of the leaders talking here. Collecting emails and high-speed conversions. You know, guys, a lot of the questions that you have can be found in these products. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit down and go through them. For those of you that are in Empower Network and you don't think you deserve to have the Inner Circle, or you keep moaning and groaning about not having the money to get it, well, that's what's slowing you down, your mindset about the money, because what you need is back here. Right? And if your desire is to get the information, then your desire has got to be to find the money, right? How to create wealth on the fast track if your life depended on it. Work less and make more with outsourcing. The Marathon Man, right? The Blog Beast is coming. I mean, guys, how to create your marketing plan. I did that back on September 16th. How to capitalize on a massive movement. Guys, there's all types of stuff back here. Right, that could be at your fingertips. The Costa Rica, the same type of thing. Network marketing, sex appeal, what does and what doesn't work. All these different things. Speak your prospects' language, how to get people to buy stuff. We just went through a lot of that stuff that's already here in the products. It's already here, right? Do less and make more. What is that? How to sell to everyone in every way. Marketing for smart people. Creating a team culture. Right? Create a compelling story. All these things are in our trainings, the same things you're asking me. 15K formula, you know, syndication. How do you do the blogs on a shoestring budget? Right here, syndication strategies. Selling through the power of video. You guys are like, well, what about video blogging? It's right here, lesson number 4. Some of you guys were asking about, well, how do I create some type of, how do you help me create SEO and get in front of my people. It's right here. It's right here in lesson 5. The solo, those of you that want to know how to get leads onto your list, right here, the solo ad formula, how and where to place solo ads. Part 2, convert those leads into money. This stuff is all right here. Email marketing, what to say in your emails, how to seduce your prospects in a way so that they, want to buy without using a phone. Email secrets, the team building. This was my training here, how to build a team, cultivating a fanatical multi-million-dollar team. Look guys, getting unstuck. Some of you guys feel stuck. Here's how to get unstuck, and everything has a study guide with it. Like, I don't know why you would not do whatever you had to do. Profit pulling magazine ads. Like, if you want to do a magazine ad, why not come back here? Why keep asking everybody on the planet? Why try to join up with somebody else and somebody else's team and switch teams and all of this, when really it's all right here. It's all right here, right? Upselling, how to create more commissions, right? Come on, guys. All this stuff is just right here at our fingertips, right? The master's course, same type of thing, higher level training here. Getting started and taking massive action. A lot of you guys were asking that. Setting a clear intention your first 30 days. Getting past the grind, right? Getting past the grind. Getting the right advice using guidance. We talked about that, right? The mentor. Identifying your story. Being comfortable with money. Getting noticed, right? Some of you guys are, how do I get the engagement? How do I find people? That's this. Perpetual marketing, right? Leveraging cycles. Come on, guys. Look. All this stuff is right here, right? And that's what I said at the very, very beginning of this training, that none of the things that that I'm literally doing is information that God has only blessed me with, right? I am not the person I'm the only person that's ever known this information, and therefore I'm the only person that can ever share it with anybody. Right? This information is literally here for all of us, and I'm just the person that is sharing the information with you in a format of leveraging you as the people who are connected to me via my fan page, via my blog, via my network, via my list. Right? That's what these things are for. It's not about me knowing everything. It's about me being around a bunch of people that know something about their area of expertise. Okay? Because of that is allowing me to build a successful business online. Things that I don't know, I come back here and I learn. I find out who's teaching it in this stuff, and I study it, and I master it. I practice what they say over and 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 over again. Okay? So look, here's the deal. We are coming up on 9 o'clock, which will literally be 2 hours here, and so what I want to do now is make sure that we get out of this screen sharing mode here. I want to get out of that, and I want to get back to just my screen right here, and I want you guys to realize that so much of this information is so available to you. Right? And again, this isn't about selling Empower Network to you, but this is about for those of you that are already in Empower Network and you're going all around town asking everybody about stuff. Stop doing that. The information is already right here. What you need to do is get serious and decide that you are going to get your course materials for the career that you said you wanted to be proficient in. And when you decide that you are going to be a master of this business, you will simply get your education. You will simply get the materials, the books that you need. Just like if you were in college, you would get the books, and then you would have to study the material. You have to study the syllabus. You have to follow what the professor is teaching. You would need to do all those things, some of it in class, a lot of it out of class, right? You know, this is entrepreneurship. This isn't hold your handship. Right? This is, you are an adult, you are an entrepreneur, you want to learn this stuff, and there's so much information already teaching it to you that if you would just buckle down and say, you know what, I am going to access the information I need to be successful, then you would go back there and you would get that information, you would get that education, you would practice it, and you would literally learn to start teaching yourself as a professional. That's how I did it. I didn't have anybody to call every day. I didn't have Facebook at that time. Really wasn't big in 2008. I couldn't inbox somebody and ask them this and ask them that. I literally had to just follow the trainings and watch my sponsor and do what he did until I got results, and then I reached out to him and say, hey, listen, here's what I got, right? And I've been working on this, and this, but here's where I want to go. You know, how can I best do that? Right? And it was at that point that he was willing to help me. Not before, not because I was new, not because my other sponsor over here didn't help me. Like, all that whining and crying did not encourage him to want to help me. What encouraged him to want to help me was my pure innate desire to want to succeed beyond all measure. And that was reflected in my results and in the action that I took. So guys, let me just come over here really quick and see if there are just any a few last little things that we want to get answered here. Somebody says, if you sign up for the $25, does that make a difference how much money is made? And do you have regular meetings on blogging? I don't have meetings, period, on blogging, because there's nothing to meet about. There's nothing to, why do I need to meet about blogging when everything that you need to know about blogging is in the blogging training? I don't need to meet. You guys got to get out of this. I need somebody to be in my face. You don't. You have an internet business on purpose. I have an internet business on purpose. I don't want to meet. I don't want to meet about stuff that's already trained on. I don't mind meeting about things that's not trained on. I don't mind meeting with my team members about initiatives. I don't mind meeting about things that I want to do and new projects, but I do mind meeting about things that have already been trained on, that you can go back there and watch the video yourself. Okay, I'm not having me personally, and it just happens to be the way I run my business, right? I'm not meeting about something that we already met about on that video. That's why we recorded it, and you go watch that meeting as many times as you want to. Okay, writing, how to write and design your autoresponder messages. That's not about blogging. Okay, dealing with writer's block. You know, again, you know, writer's block is really a function of you not tapping into your core message, right? You trying to talk about something that you really don't know anything about, right? And I'm not saying that every single time somebody has writer's block, it's purely because of that. What I'm saying is, if you're at this point in the game and you're just writing a blog post, right, where it could be a couple paragraphs, you're not writing a 300-page book, you're just writing a couple of paragraphs, and you're saying you have writer's block, it's because you're trying to talk about something that you don't know anything about. I know about entrepreneurship, so I can talk about it. I know about blogging, so I can talk about it. I know about personal development. I know about the law of attraction. I don't know everything about these things, but I'm an avid student of these things. And because I read all the time, because I'm listening to audios all the time, because I'm doing meditations all the time, because I'm checking out other people's content, I'm on other people's lists, I'm watching what they're doing all the time, I usually very rarely have an issue with what to say, because I have so much junk to say all the time. I need to kind of write out what I'm going to say and stick to this topic, as opposed to trying to talk about 12 things at one time. So writer's block is a function of you not necessarily being crystal clear on your message and what you're saying, and you're probably trying to say too much. Keep it simple, stupid is the whole formula, right? KISS. K-I-S-S. For advertising, I'd like to know how to attract advertisers. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, and I don't know if this is the forum for that, because that really isn't about blogging. Other than the fact that if you want advertisers to advertise on your blog, well, then the best way to attract look, if you want somebody to spend money with you, because you want them to advertise with you, you better well be able to provide them with a market of people who want what they have. It's the same thing over and over and over. If you want somebody to come to your blog and pay you $500 a month or $300 a month to post their banner, you want Progressive Insurance to put their banner on your blog, or you want your local hair salon to put their banner on your blog, or you want your local dentist to put their banner on your blog. The only reason I, as a business owner, if I were the dentist, would dare want to spend the money is if you could show me that you have an audience that wants my services. That's it. So how you attract advertisers is by first going out there, blogging to that target market of people in the first place, getting active people engaged in what you're talking about in the first place, getting comments, getting repeat visitors, getting people coming to your courses, or getting people coming to your blog posts and watching your videos, having traffic to your site, having an Alexa ranking that's, you know, that that's reputable, and then going to a dentist, and then going to an insurance agent, and then going to a realtor and saying, hey, listen, this will be a great place because you know what, I'm a realtor too, but I've got all these people that are looking to buy houses on my site. And I'm just more interested in writing about it. I'm not really selling houses anymore. But if you are actually selling houses, and I have all these people because I'm giving them solutions on first-time buyers on how to buy houses, then it would make sense for you to put your banner on my blog, because only people that are reading my blog, 90% of the people, are people looking to buy their first home. Right? Clearly that makes sense. So how you attract advertisers is by being attractive to the market in which an advertiser could stand some type of vested relationship in. That's how you do that, right? And you offering a solution to them. Why would somebody want to advertise? Because they want more business. But they don't want more, they don't want to spend money for nothing. They don't want to just have their banner up there just to have it up there. They want their banner up there so they can get traffic to the banner so that people click and people start buying from them. That's why people advertise. Why do you advertise? Because you want more sales for what you're selling. So how can somebody attract you? Well, they attract you by them also having the types of buyers that you like, right? And they have a abundance of them. And now you would be willing to put your banner on their blog because their visitors like and want what you have. It's marketing. That's how you do it. Mistakes. The biggest mistakes people make, they say specifically what you see in Empower. And this, we're going to go ahead and close out with this. The biggest mistakes I see people make are, one, saying that they want to do something and they really don't want to do it. Right? For example, I want to start my own business. And then 3 weeks later, it's, well, no one has bought from me, nobody did this, nobody did that, nobody taught me anything. It's this victimization type of attitude about life and about entrepreneurship that is the biggest mistake you could ever make walking into this free enterprise world. Free enterprise, nobody owes you anything. In free enterprise, you get what you pay for. Essentially, when you buy the blog and Empower Network, you get the blog. That's all we really ever promised you, was a viral blog at the $25 level. Nobody promised you training on an ongoing basis, right? Nobody promised you any of that for the $25. Now, sponsors could charge another $50 or $100 to train you, which they could do, right? But when you buy the blog, there's nobody that is supposed to do anything for you as it relates to the blog, but provide the blog. Just like when you go and you buy an iPhone, they're not supposed to do anything unless you buy the Apple Care, right? And you buy the service to get things, whatever. I mean, they do some initial setup with you and things like that, but that's part of their service, right? But so that would be the biggest thing, expecting somebody to owe you something just because you bought the product. The product doesn't necessarily mean that somebody owes you training on the product. We give training on the product because we understand that most people don't have an idea of how to effectively use it. But us giving the training as a bonus and us giving the training in terms of you thinking as an expectation are two different things. So the biggest mistake is people saying that they want to be an entrepreneur, being in free enterprise, but bringing over with them the slave or the enslaved mentality that somebody is supposed to fix your dinner for you over here, that somebody is supposed to take all their time and speak with you on the phone, that somebody is supposed to do anything. No, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to spend all your time training. You're supposed to spend all your time learning. You're supposed to spend all your time in the gym practicing your layups. You're supposed to. Whether the coach is in the gym or not, you're supposed to, because you're the person on the team who wants to get paid. And if you're the person that wants to keep your contract with the team, you better enhance your skills, whether there's a coach or not. Coaches can be replaced. They are all the time. But you and your skill set has nothing to do, and your drive to learn has nothing to do with the coach, because a coach can be switched out from year to year, from season to season. You can go from team to team. It's about you. Okay, so that's the biggest. The second thing that I see people do is they quit too soon. People quit way too soon. They start something, they plant a seed, and if they put a time frame on the gestation period. And what baffles me is, you know, you want to make $3,000 in 30 days, and just because other people around you have done it, when you don't do it, you want to quit. But here's the situation. That's not your job. Like, that's God's job, and a lot of it has to do with your mental state. When you bring yourself to the table with something, you never know. The person that made $3,000 their first day may have already gone through a lot of training and personal development. They may have already let go of the weight on their back, the baggage, the feelings of worthlessness or regret or hurt or pain. They may have already let that stuff go, doubt. They may have let all that go. And when they come in, they watch the video and they take action, and boom, they get results because it's a clear path. There's nothing blocking them between them and their desired goal. But you may come in desperate. You may come in under pressure. You may come in stressed. You may come in with a divorce pending, a foreclosure pending. You may come in with no sleep. You may come in with the threat of your job being gone. You got all this stuff clouding your way between where you are and your goal. And it's different for you. You can watch the same video, but you got too much crap to get through to get to the other side. Some people have already removed that stuff. So quitting too soon, not letting the gestation period be what it is for you and what God has planned for you. It's not the same for everybody. So don't plant the seed, decide when you think God's supposed to have the seed sprout up, and then when it doesn't sprout up, you dig the seed up and say, oh, this doesn't work. So quitting too soon will be the second thing. And maybe the third thing, the biggest mistake that I see people do is, I don't know, is thinking that, how do I put this? Thinking that what works for others is going to work for you, right? Strategically. Thinking that, oh, because Tracy is doing Facebook, that's the best thing for me. Putting an absolute on it, the best or the worst, or this always, or this never. Those are absolutes. And it's the best for me because it enhances my skill set. So assessing, I see people making a mistake in assessing what may be best for them based on somebody else's skill, as opposed to deciding what's best for them based on what their skill set is or what skill set they want to build upon. That is what happens. I like to do videos. That's a skill set I brought to the table. So I think that's one of the great ways to do a lot of things because it works for me. But if you're a person that doesn't have that skill set yet and you're trying to build your whole business on video and blogging like I did, well, then that could be a mistake. Because you might be a better writer than you are a better speaker in terms of video. And for you to not tap into the skills that you already bring just because you see somebody else doing somebody else is a deadly, deadly, deadly mistake, okay? Another mistake I say is that people don't follow the leader. They don't. The leader says take a left and people still want to take a right. They're hard-headed. People are stubborn by nature. People have been trained to not follow directions, yet they want the results. Another thing I see people do is they take improper action. Right? They're taking action, but it's the improper action. So they come and sit down in their office, and they're taking action. The action of reading emails all day. The action of checking Facebook statuses all day. The action of being on the Facebook group, commenting on everybody already in the business all day. That is action, but it's improper action. The proper action would be going, creating content, and posting it on your blog and learning how to syndicate it. The proper action would be then taking that syndication and making sure that you're building it out, maybe repurposing that content, taking that blog post and creating a PowerPoint out of it, or creating a YouTube video out of it, or creating a SlideShare presentation out of it, or creating an article out of it at the same time, by creating a Pinterest photo out of it, by creating an Instagram photo out of it. That would be the proper action, the marketing, the promotion. You create the product, you create the content, and then you have to spread the word. The spreading the word is what people make the hardest thing when I don't understand it. It's not not that hard to do that. The skills, though, have to be learned, and you have to be trained on them, and that's what we provide inside of Empower. The last mistake is people don't believe that them owning the products is to their benefit. So they try to make a lot of money with only the blog, and then they're confused and they're stuck, and it's a double-edged sword. The double-edged sword is that you're saying you don't have the money, but unfortunately it's the money that's in the product that's going to teach you how to make more of the money. And so the biggest mistake is people not actually buying their education. And it's nothing that I can continue to say more than you need to get all the products if you want to be proficient in these areas. If you don't want to be proficient in these areas, then you don't need to buy all the products. That's fine too. I mean, I don't know whose team you're on watching this. I don't even know if you're in it. Right? I have no idea. All I'm saying to you is that if you want to be proficient in this business, in this industry, if you want to be proficient in basketball, you got to learn all you can about basketball. If you want to be proficient in basket weaving, you got to learn all you can about basket weaving. If you want to be proficient in being a better parent, then you got to read as much as you can and learn as much as you can about being a better parent. If you don't give a damn about any of that stuff, then don't read about it. Don't buy any trainings about it. Don't even say you want to be one. Just don't even go that direction. But if you actually want to become a better marketer and you want to become a better internet marketer, then the biggest mistake you could ever make in my environment is to not buy the training that teaches you how to do that. I do not understand how you can want to be a medical doctor, but you do not go to medical school to learn the skills that you still have to pay for. Like, you can't just say I want to be a doctor and walk into a hospital and start operating on people or start seeing patients. Like, you can't do it. But in this industry, you can. You can just wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to be an internet marketer. You can get on the internet and you can start internet marketing. You don't have any skills, you don't have any trainings, you don't have any resources, you don't have anything, but you can say that's what you want to do. And unfortunately, you shoot yourself in the foot by not following the same process you followed all your life, which was you get educated on something and then you implement that something. You get educated on something and then you implement that something. In this world, the biggest mistake is people think they don't have to be educated on. They think it's a get rich quick, and they think they can just come on the internet and start doing some stuff and think that they're going to get rich. And unfortunately, it's a skill and it's a learned situation like everything else. I'm a professional in this. There are so many other people in our community that are professionals in what they're doing, and you don't get paid as an amateur. You don't. You make money as a professional athlete. You don't get paid as an amateur athlete. You get paid as a professional athlete. You don't get paid as an amateur doctor. You get paid as a professional surgeon, as an elite doctor, a specialized person or whatever, having your own practice or working in the hospital, seeing patients, doing whatever you're doing. You don't get paid as an amateur gymnast. You get paid as a professional, right? You get endorsements and things like that from being a professional. You don't get that stuff from being an amateur. And in internet marketing, as an amateur, it's the same thing. If you don't have the skill set yet, if you're not at the level yet, you will not receive commissions. Right? But the minute you decide that you're going to be a professional and that you are going to treat this as a real business, you are going to learn these skills, you are going to implement, you are going to be a real entrepreneur, you are going to stick to it no matter what, you are going to do what you need to do every single day, take proper action, follow the right people, do what they do, don't bug the hell out of them, just do what they do, follow them, and emulate what they're doing. If you promise yourself that you're willing to do that, I can guarantee you over time, just like Daniel's son did with Mr. Miyagi as a sensei and an apprentice, that if you do the wax on, wax off motions enough, eventually your body will know when to use wax on, wax off. Right? It's the same type of thing. You don't always understand why you need to do something, but it's not your mentor's job to have to explain to you why you got to do something all the time when you're the one that wants to be the martial arts expert. If you want to be the martial arts expert and you came to me and I'm the martial arts expert at the point in time that you want to learn how to be one, then it's about you shutting your mouth, you buckling down and doing what I'm instructing you to do, because I get nothing out of telling you to do something wrong. What benefit do I get out of that? What benefit does any of these people get out of teaching you to do something that doesn't help you? It's ridiculous to even have that mindset. And if you have it, you need to get rid of it, because you won't ever succeed, because you always think somebody's trying to get you. And I've got better things to do in my life than to get you. right? I've got my own kids to deal with. I got my own man to deal with. Got my own business to deal with, my own house, my own cars, my own responsibilities, my own projects, my own business, my own marketing promotions. The last thing I really sleep that I, think about at night before I go to sleep is how can I get you for $25? I mean, I just don't have time for it. It's not even in my nature. Right? And a lot of people are that exact same way. So those will be the biggest mistakes I see people make. So guys, listen, that's the deal with the blogging. Okay, that's the deal with the blogging. If you are inside of Empower Network already, and if this was of any value to you, we did not make the 500 shares. As I said, that if I did that, we would do the contest. So there's no contest here. But if you're in Empower Network and you just feel like you would like to do a testimonial just because you want to, on my behalf, on behalf of this hangout tonight, I'm going to ask you to please do that and go ahead and post it on YouTube. Send me the YouTube link. Right? And I'd love to take it and possibly share it and things like that. That's if it's in your heart to do it, right? There's no prize for doing it. There's no incentive for doing it. It's that I've just pretty much spent 2 hours and 20 minutes of my time sharing information with you, a lot of it of what is already inside of Empower Network. And if you feel it in your heart to share a testimonial, awesome. Please do a testimonial, a video testimonial, post it on YouTube, and share it with me. Inbox me on Facebook with the YouTube link. I'll be happy to look at it, and I thank you so much for just sharing the good that I'm trying to pour out into the community out here. If you're not, and if you're not on my team, but you are an Empower Network, the offer still stands. I would love to have a testimonial, just to say, hey, listen, this isn't always about the dream team, although I love the dream team, and that is my primary concern, right? The people that are attached to me, just like your family at home, that's your primary concern. It's not that you don't care about your neighbors, but ultimately, if there's a fire, you got to take care of your family first, and then you go help the neighbors. Right? And so the dream team is my family, and that's who I take care of first. And then if I have the time and the ability and the resources, I can step outside. Just usually I don't. Right? Our team is very robust, and we're growing, and I have to focus on my team and myself, and that's a great thing. Okay, so if you're not on the dream team, but you're in Empower Network, a testimonial will be awesome that I can share to say, hey, listen, I'm doing what I can when I can to help people not even on my team. Right? If you are on my team, a testimonial would be great from you too, right? I mean, it's the same thing. If you happen to be a person that's not in Empower Network, and you were invited here by me, if you were invited to this webinar, this hangout by me, because I know some of you may have invited other people. Well, or some of you may be invited by other people. If that's the case, then you get back with the person that invited you here, and you get enrolled. You get enrolled. I showed you some of the back office, just kind of answering some questions, but that wasn't really the goal here. You get enrolled with them. You get their link, get enrolled with them. But if you were invited here by me, then you definitely want to get enrolled with me. And you can do that by going to www.getyourviralblog.com. That's it. Right? It's $25 to get started. I showed it to you, right? And then whoever invited you, if you're a guest of someone else, go to their website, okay, and get enrolled with them as well. And if you're already in, phenomenal. I'd love the wonderful, wonderful testimonial that you can share with me, and you can just inbox me your YouTube link to that. So guys, that is all I have for you this evening. I'm going to go ahead and call this one a wrap. I thank you guys so much for spending 2 hours and 22 minutes with me this evening, this Thursday evening. We are preparing for my birthday, which is next week, next Friday, November 22nd. So if you feel compelled to send me a gift or a happy birthday or a present, or anything, feel free to do that. I am accepting gifts and presents all the times and well wishes. And then the week after that, we'll be heading into Thanksgiving. So if I don't get a chance to see or speak with you at that point in time, have a wonderful, wonderful, happy Thanksgiving for those of you that are in the U.S. Those of you not in the U.S., then don't worry about it. It's not a Thanksgiving for you, but it still is my birthday for you. It still is my birthday for you, whether it's Thanksgiving. And guys, I appreciate you, love you dearly, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon on stage at the top, doing big things, living your life on your terms, as well as your dreams. Again, if you're invited here by me, head over to www.getyourviralblog.com. Get started today, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the very next Hangout. Bye for now.